Now, I was really looking forward to this film from the moment that they dropped that 30-second teaser, and one thing that I was really hoping going in was that they used that Head to Roll song. If they had switched one song in this film for that song, I would have probably enjoyed the last half of the film a lot better.
You know what a harlequin is? A harlequin's role is to serve. It's nothing without a master. No one gives two shits who we are beyond that.
So Birds of Prey and the 85 titles that this movie was trying to be brings back Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn from the mediocre Suicide Squad and gives her her own film with the addition of the Birds of Prey, and we begin to follow Harley Quinn after her breakup from the Joker and after word gets out that they are not together anymore. Word gets out to everyone that she wronged and a price is on her head. Meanwhile, after Cassandra Cain steals a precious diamond from Roman Sionis, also known as Black Mass, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey must come together to protect her from getting killed. Now, I was really looking forward to this movie because I really love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and the trailers for this movie, even though it didn't get some people excited, it got me really pumped for this movie, and the soundtrack also is something that factored into me getting really excited. So I was really excited to see this film, and I wanted to see how far they would push this movie with the star rating. And what I can say is that they really do push the envelope in this movie with the R rating, and I really dug that. I also like to give a shout out to Margot Robbie because this movie proved that not only does she embody Harley Quinn, but she is one of the best producers working today, and she knows exactly what fans want from a Harley Quinn film. Now, with that all being said, this movie isn't as um isn't as great as I wanted it to be. Even though I did find some enjoyment in this film, I do wish that there were some things that this movie could have cleaned up a little bit. Before I get into my negatives, I want to talk about the positives that I had because there are plenty, plenty of positives in this film. And for starters, I've already mentioned Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think she did a fantastic job in this film, but I also think that everybody in this film did a wonderful job except for one person, which I will get to in my negatives for the film. I think Journey Smollett Bell did a wonderful job as Black Canary. Even though she doesn't get as much screen time in this film, takes advantage of the moment that she has in this film, and I really dug her character and I dug her performance in this film. Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya did a really good job, even though her character sometimes got annoying because she's one of those characters that speaks in TV cliches, and she basically feels like she's in like a Law and Order type show, and she basically brings some of that into her character. And I really thought that even though she did a good job in her performance, I think sometimes when she's on screen, it does lose us a little bit, and it does get a little bit annoying. Ewan McGregor has his moments in this film as the main villain, Roman Sionis, and sometimes he can be a little bit over the top, and he kind of gets on your nerves a little bit, but he embodies what he's given, and he really does look like he's having the time of his life. Even Ewan McGregor, who plays Roman Sionis, I think he embodies the character that he's given, and he does a pretty good job of it. Even though sometimes it does get a little bit annoying, and I understand he does. Just like everybody in this film, he does a really good job in bringing out the villain in him, and I really did enjoy him in this film. Also, the cinematography and the direction in this film is phenomenal. I think some shots look great and amazing, and I really enjoyed the fight sequences in this film, especially when you know that Chad Stileski from the John Wick franchise was brought in to polish up some of the fight sequences in this film. That really, I really dug the action in this film. It's probably some of the best action that we've gotten in the DCEU in a long while, and I really enjoyed that. However, with all those positives said, I think this movie does suffer the same things that Suicide Squad suffered in this film, where this movie, even though it does feel like Deadpool meets John Wick, it plays around with flashbacks the same way that Suicide Squad played with flashbacks in this film, and that really does get annoying a little bit, especially when you do it a lot. And I didn't mind the narration in this film from Harley Quinn, but when it's trying to tell a cohesive story, but at the same time it's trying to introduce the Birds of Prey in a different way. I, at times I wish they could have done it a little bit better, kind of the same way that I felt about Suicide Squad, where they basically introduce all the characters in flashbacks and music video type scenarios. In this film, what they do is, without giving anything away, they basically just pinpoint you to a point in the story, and then they take you back either 5 minutes or a day or a few years and showing you how the events unfolded. And I have no gripes about that. I just wish I wish this movie didn't jump back and forth the way that Suicide Squad did, and it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Still enjoy the film a lot, but I wish that they cut back a little bit more on the flashbacks, and I wish they did something better with this film. Also, you don't get a lot of Huntress. I think she probably has like 5 to 10 minutes of screen time. Even though they tried to flesh out her character in the film, they didn't do an awesome job of doing it, because even when she pops up in this film, you basically don't know what kind of character she is. This is coming from somebody that doesn't know the comic books, so if anybody knows the lore behind Huntress, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. But I didn't get enough characterization with what they were trying to convey with Huntress in this film. You get some of it, but even though they do flesh it out a little bit, I wish they did a better job of fleshing out her characters, especially all of the characters in this film. I wish they would have fleshed out a little bit better, because even though this movie is titled Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, this movie really does feel like a Harley Quinn central film with the Birds of Prey as the backup singers, and I wish that they delivered on the title and gave us the Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn at the same time. But you don't get the formation until late in the film, and that really disappointed me, because I wish we could have gotten a little bit more of the dynamic between those characters in this film, and I wish they would have done something awesome with them. But unfortunately, they don't pull it off until the last half of the film, and that really struck a chord with me. Even though I did enjoy the film, I enjoyed the action sequences. Some of the jokes hit, some of the jokes didn't hit. Some of the performances in this film were great. I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead did a good job of good job with what she was given. I just wish they fleshed out her character a little bit more. But I did enjoy this film a little bit more than Suicide Squad, even though it has the same even though I have the same gripes that I have with Suicide Squad. I think this movie tried to do something different and tried to pave the way for the future of the DCEU, and I can't wait to see what DC has in store for us next. But even though with those gripes that I have, I wish they would have fleshed out the characters a little bit more. I wish they would have done something better with them. I wish that they would have done a Birds of Prey movie instead of a Harley Quinn film. But overall, I enjoyed it. I had a blast. There were some moments that I laughed out loud in this film, but I can't wait to see what we have next with Wonder Woman in a couple months, and I hope Patty Jenkins delivers a better film than what we got with this film. I'm going to go ahead and give Birds of Prey a 7 out of 10. So what did you guys think of Birds of Prey? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Let me know down in the comments what you think of it. And if you like this review, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button for more reviews. And until next time, this is Josie at the movies.